who thought that he had finally moved away from all of the psychodrama with Prince Harry. His brother had made his decision. He was going to be exiled, and it was for political reasons and everything anyway. And I know he's going through a lot, but seriously, if he still goes ahead with this meeting, P. Dinah, I really think he needs his head read.
Absolutely.
4 chairs, shut doors, no aids, history breathing hard. A father weighs mercy against a crown's long memory. She mediates softly. He speaks with winter in his voice. Half in, half out dies on that table. There is no statement, only decisions with teeth. Titles become tools. Access becomes leverage withdrawn. Outside, the hills keep their secrets. Inside, a dynasty redraws its lines in stone. Don't blink. The quiet choice will echo for years.
William thought that everyone was with him, and all of a sudden, it's flipped on its head. And so I want to take you through this reporting from Charlotte Griffiths.
This isn't about brotherly squabbles or family drama. This is about the survival of a 1,000-year institution. What William understands, and what Harry fatally miscalculated, is that the monarchy doesn't run on emotion. It runs on strategy. When Harry returned to the UK recently and met with King Charles at Clarence House, it triggered something in William. Palace sources reveal the future king is back at the point where if you mention Prince Harry in his presence, he would throw you out of the room. But this anger isn't just personal frustration, it's institutional protection.
They are just exiled from the conversation, a non-person. And William was comfortable in this zone, but what's happened now is, of course, Harry's back in the country. Harry's seeing his father.
Behind the walls of Buckingham Palace, William has moved from treating Harry as a wayward brother to viewing him as what royal insiders call a non-person, completely exiled from the conversation. And while the world has been distracted by reconciliation rumors, William has been meticulously constructing a 3-part strategy that changes everything. The turning point wasn't a single event. It was a pattern that William watched unfold with growing certainty that Harry and Meghan weren't just leaving the royal family, they were weaponizing it.
About their events clashing, which has happened all of this week. And of course, you know, William is furious. He's in no mood to repair relations.
According to Charlotte Griffiths' reporting, William first noticed something alarming at Harry and Meghan's wedding, a moment that made his blood run cold. While millions watched the glamorous ceremony, William observed something far more significant. Meghan did not curtsy to the Queen when passing her in St. George's Chapel. To outsiders, this might seem trivial, but to William, trained in centuries of protocol where every gesture carries meaning, this wasn't a nervous bride forgetting tradition. It was a deliberate message. Every royal bride before Meghan, from Diana to Kate, had followed this ritual. To skip it wasn't an oversight, it was a declaration.
William believes that Harry should be treated as a royal exile. He should never return. And so, yeah, I guess that does mean he is a non-person.
William reportedly never forgot that moment. For him, it wasn't just about a missed curtsy. It was the first sign of a fundamental misalignment, a warning that Meghan, with Harry's full support, wasn't there to join the monarchy but to change it on her terms. This suspicion hardened when Harry and Meghan brought Hollywood to Windsor, Oprah in the front row, Serena Williams mingling with royalty, and a wedding that looked more like a celebrity premiere than a royal ceremony. To William, this wasn't refreshing modernization. It was an existential threat.
With his father, he is no longer closer to contact with his brother. Indeed, Harry's success in the UK last week means the future king is burning with a renewed determination to...
What followed was an escalating series of choices that confirmed William's worst fears. The Oprah interview hit like a nuclear bomb. Allegations of racism within the palace walls, claims of ignored mental health concerns, and the portrayal of the royal family as cold and uncaring blindsided the monarchy. Palace sources say William was furious, not just at the allegations, but at the betrayal.
Many different ways. But again, this goes to the effect of why certain boundaries need to be put in place, certain hard lines need to be set in place for Harry, because William is just going to...
For William, this wasn't just Harry and Meghan telling their story. It was them transforming private family matters into global entertainment. Overnight, William's reputation was dragged into the spotlight, with speculation immediately pointing to him regarding claims about concerns over Archie's skin color. The Netflix series delivered another blow. Sacred family moments, private conversations, and unseen photos were suddenly packaged into episodes and streamed worldwide. This wasn't documentation, it was commodification of royal life.
His actions, and let's be honest, the actions of his wife over the past 6 years, or even longer, to be honest.
And then came Spare, Harry's memoir that Charlotte Griffiths describes as betrayal in hardcover. William found himself portrayed as the angry brother, allegedly shoving Harry into a dog bowl during an argument. Intimate details about William and Kate, shared in confidence, were suddenly public property. For William, this crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed. Palace insiders report that William's fury wasn't loud. It was cold. He stopped seeing Harry as a misguided brother and began viewing him as a liability to the crown itself.
When William becomes king. While it's hard to guess from the spiteful interviews he's given in recent years, Harry does want back in. Harry reads his own polls. He knows he's one of the least popular royals.
The showdown reportedly happened at Balmoral, remote, historic, and far from press intrusion. Sources say just 4 people were present: King Charles, Queen Camilla, William, and Catherine. No aides, no leaks, nothing to dilute the intensity. William reportedly took the lead, speaking with quiet, lethal clarity that left even Charles nodding in agreement. His message was simple: Harry's double life, half in, half out, splintering duties while delivering public ambushes, could no longer be tolerated. Either he recommitted fully to the monarchy, or he would be cut off completely.
Candace now for nearly a year gets information fed directly to her by his friends in the UK. This is how she explains what Harry wants from
Catherine, described as ever the mediator, tried to temper the tension, reminding everyone of familial bonds and shared losses. But even she could see the writing on the wall. Trust had evaporated, loyalty had frayed, and the monarchy itself was at risk. By the end of this Balmoral showdown, a clear message emerged. The Sussexes were on notice, and a 3-step strategy was set in motion, what palace insiders are now calling William's 3-step strategy. Step 1. Strip. Remove the titles, privileges, and royal perks that keep Harry and Meghan marketable in Hollywood. William understands that without Duke and Duchess, they're not royals, just another celebrity couple trying to stay relevant. Step 2. Freeze. No invitations, no roles, no charity engagements with the royal stamp. Cut off every connection that keeps them tethered to the crown. As one insider put it, you can't play the royal card if the royals won't let you in the room. Step 3. Erase. The most ruthless part: scrub Harry and Meghan from the royal narrative. Future history books, official portraits, public-facing projects, gone. When the monarchy tells its story, the Sussex chapter will be reduced to a cautionary tale, nothing more. This wasn't an emotional reaction. It was institutional protection, cold but effective. William wasn't acting on impulse. This strategy had been brewing for years. Every interview, Netflix deal, and tabloid headline was another piece of evidence, another reason to move forward. The brilliance of William's strategy is that it hits precisely where it hurts most. The titles Duke and Duchess of Sussex aren't just ceremonial. They're Harry and Meghan's golden tickets, their leverage, their Hollywood currency. Palace insiders say Meghan understood the danger immediately. Without the Sussex titles, her platform weakens, her negotiating power dwindles, and the public narrative shifts. The Duchess without a Duchess title becomes just another former actress with fading opportunities. This isn't personal cruelty from William, it's preservation. By targeting the titles, he ensures the monarchy remains untouchable, that celebrity ambitions can't undermine centuries of tradition. For Harry, the stakes are equally high. Friends say he feels cornered, trapped between familial duty and the life he's carved with Meghan. But William's position is unmovable. He's watched quietly for years, seen repeated public exposures, and now asserts control. The Netflix series, the podcast deals, the memoirs, they commanded headlines, but without the royal titles that amplified their reach, they risk becoming footnotes in royal history. Hollywood glitz and California fame simply can't match centuries of history, protocol, and public expectation. William reportedly knows that titles aren't just ceremonial, they're currency. And once removed, the monarchy protects itself, while Harry and Meghan face the harsh reality of life without the royal aura that made them exceptional. Meanwhile, Harry appears to have made another strategic error. According to reporting by Tina Brown, Harry still harbors hopes for reconciliation. even making demands that Meghan must be treated as HRH, meaning family members would need to show her formal respect with bows and curtsies. For William, sources say this is a hard no. Additionally, reports suggest Harry wants some kind of public acknowledgement from King Charles, similar to what Queen Elizabeth did when asking the public to accept Camilla as queen consort. But the circumstances are entirely different. The monarchy could survive Camilla's acceptance. Harry and Meghan's ongoing media ventures represent an existential threat. The impact of William's strategy extends far beyond family dynamics. It reshapes the very future of the monarchy. William emerges as the unyielding protector of the crown. Every move, every decision, every calculation is about safeguarding the institution from what he perceives as reckless behavior. The Sussex choices, Hollywood deals, explosive interviews, memoirs, represent more than personal ambition. To William, they threaten tradition, legacy, and public trust. Palace sources say William has grown sharper, more strategic, and unafraid of confrontation. He is no longer the brother trying to coax Harry back into alignment, but the guardian of heritage willing to make difficult, even ruthless decisions to ensure the crown endures. The narrative is shifting. It's no longer about rebels who left the monarchy behind, but about the crown's resilience under William's watch. This isn't cruelty, it's legacy protection. The monarchy will survive, even thrive against celebrity culture's distractions. For Harry and Meghan, the consequences are profound. Without active royal connections, their relevance diminishes. Every Netflix documentary, podcast, or memoir becomes less impactful without the royal mystique that initially made them marketable. Industry experts note that the Sussex's Spotify deal collapsed after just one podcast series, with executives reportedly fuming and the Sussex brand looking increasingly shaky. To William, this wasn't just embarrassing. It was proof they weren't building a meaningful legacy, but rather cashing in on royal connections. The palace understands that the Sussexes cannot be allowed to leverage their royal connection to rewrite the monarchy's story. William grasps the optics, perception, and consequences, and is acting decisively. This royal drama reveals a universal truth about power. Real authority isn't about making noise, it's about controlling the board. William's strategy demonstrates that true power often speaks through strategic silence. While Harry and Meghan dominated headlines with explosive interviews and media deals, William quietly calculated his endgame. He understood that in matters of institutional survival, patience trumps impulse, strategy defeats emotion, and long-term thinking overcomes immediate gratification. For anyone navigating power struggles in their own lives, whether in careers, relationships, or organizations, William's approach offers a masterclass in strategic thinking. When faced with public challenges, sometimes the strongest move isn't to engage directly, but to methodically secure your position. The lesson isn't about family estrangement, but institutional preservation. William recognized that some threats require not reconciliation, but boundaries. By prioritizing the monarchy's future over brotherly ties, he made the hardest choice leaders sometimes face, choosing institutional health over personal relationships. By the time history books are written, William will likely stand as the architect of a decisive era, a prince who protected tradition, defended family honor, and ensured the monarchy remained untouchable. The Sussexes may be remembered for their headlines, but the crown will endure long after the Hollywood cameras have moved on. In the end, William has not just survived the storm, he has mastered it, and the monarchy under his watch emerges stronger, sharper, and more resilient than before. The royal checkmate wasn't delivered with fanfare. It came through strategic patience and the quiet, devastating power of 3 simple words: strip, freeze, erase.